It's been a soggy day 2 of dressage here at Badminton Horse Trials presented by Mars Equestrian. But the competition has been fierce. We've got a complete change at the top end of the leaderboard with a new overnight leader heading into the jumping phases, which is Ros Canter and Lordship's Graffalo, who are second here last year. Close behind them in second place at the moment is Kitty King and Vondrely Biatz, with last night's leader Oliver Townend and Swallow Springs holding third right now. We caught up with riders at the business end of the leaderboard after day 2 of dressage.
I'm just over the moon with Walter today. He really pulled out all the stops. He did every movement, I think, nearly as I would like. He's been quite excited this week here. It's taken quite a lot of settling. The thing I was most happy with was his walk, his halt and his rein back. It's something that last year, because he was quite green at the level, and I felt we were always having to push him a bit quickly. He wasn't really established. The halt and the rein back really suffered. The tension crept in and he really struggled with it. So I've been working away all winter by myself. It's not something that I get help training with particularly. I've been having my own little system at home. We work away. He hasn't done a single halt and rein back down here in the environment. There's a little indoor school up in Badminton, and he's been going in there once a day, and we've just been playing by ourselves with them. So that's the first time he's done a halt rein back on grass this week, and so for him to do it as well as he did, I was just absolutely delighted.
It's so fascinating to hear, the preparation and things like that go into getting, those movements in the arena. And we saw at the end as well, that crowd out there, it's a rainy old day here today at Badminton, the cheer that went up, and your face said it all. Can you tell me what was going through your mind when you heard that reaction from the crowd?
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I think the horse is amazing. He loves it. He truly loves it. He's born to do this job. And although he was excited early in the week, it was pure excitement. Once he's in there, there's no tension. The crowds, I could have waved them to clap even louder, and the horse would have thoroughly enjoyed himself. And that's what's so lovely. And that's he's my dream horse because of it. Because I just think, it is what he does. He's an event horse.
And is that what makes him so good?
I think so, yeah, I think so. I mean, he is a weird horse as well. He's got a strange personality, and he can be a little hot to train and things like that, but I think it's his competition performances is what makes him so special.
Kitty, huge well done. Fantastic score, 22.3. And how are you feeling after that?
Oh, I'm just, delighted with him, and he just tried so hard. He kind of didn't mind the rain at all, and just kept trying all the way through, and he didn't lose any balance or anything like that. I thought he might go a bit unsteady with his feet because it's quite greasy, but he just loved it out there, and he's just come on so much every year, and he just keeps improving, which is wonderful.
And is he a horse that does quite like the rain? Does he not mind it too much when it's...
He hasn't done a huge amount like most horses in the rain. He loves kind of sloppy ground. He wouldn't be the biggest fan of holding deep ground, but yeah, muddy and dirty he's okay with. So we'll see what happens, and we can only go out and ride our horses as they are tomorrow and just make sensible decisions.
And as well, as you said, he keeps improving. His scores are phenomenal. What are you doing to get those, extra bits out of him?
He's always been a good horse on the flat, but he's naturally short in his neck, and he would like to go with his ears up my nose. Is his natural way. So we're always just constantly working on exactly the same thing, which is getting him through and round and down the rein, and off my inside leg he likes to fall in and set his ribs, so that's all we do is just keep working on the suppleness and the throughness, because he can do everything else, so it's just about his basics.
And looking ahead to tomorrow as well, what are your thoughts on the course?
It's a big track. There's plenty of places where we can have mistakes, and you're going to have to keep on it the whole way through, and basically the ground's going to play a massive part, so until we get out there and see how they're going, it's hard to make plans. I think tomorrow we're going to have to have plans A, B, C, D and E, and just see how it goes, but it's a brilliant track, and looking forward to it.
Wishing you all the best.
Thanks very much.
Gemma Stevens and Jalapeno are now in provisional 4th, with Tom McEwen and Toledo de Cursa 5th, and Oliver Townend on his second ride, Ballamore class, in 6th at this stage. I spoke to Tom after his test.
For me, it was fantastic. He did real good work. A few slightly missed changes, but for me, it's definitely a PB in the walk. He walked amazing there. His stretchy circle was amazing. Those are usually 2 things that we do everything for 8s and 9s, and that sometimes catches out. So delighted. In weather that isn't ideal, at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know we're quite used to it at Aston Walls and other places, but yeah, it's a little bit different for a bigger event, and delighted with him. Thought he was fluent. His way of going was fantastic, and yeah, delighted with him.
And you're coming here, of course, off the back of a brilliant result out in Kentucky, finishing 2nd with JL Dublin. What does that do for your confidence coming into Badminton Week?
Yeah, I was just saying, I think I've now realised why Oliver does so well here, but going to Kentucky every year. Yeah, it gives you a real good feeling for a place. This year, probably more than others, it's probably completely different. I mean, last week was firm with a bit of drizzle, which made it slippy. This year, with sort of the slow, steady rain that we're already having quite early on, it's going to be soft, to be fairly honest. Our horses at least have got used to it over the year. But yeah, for sure it gives you a bit of a sort of a boost. At least you've seen some fences of similar height, similar tests to a degree, and yeah, it makes you excited to want to get out there.
Well, best of luck with cross country.
Thank you very much.
I also caught up with defending champion Laura Collett, who's riding De Capo at this year's Badminton Horse Trials.
Yeah, really pleased with him. It's hard work in there for them, and he kept giving and kept trying. He's never been in an atmosphere like that. The crowd were, super excited after Oliver's test. So even just for him to keep it together and focus and listen was, for me, really, really, really pleasing.
And what's he like as a person?
He's a funny character. It's about playing mind games, and when the first couple of days here, he's kind of come out very different to the horse that we've known after the trot up. He thought he might be at quite a big party, and it was quite exciting. So we had to work him a bit harder than we normally would, but I think we got it just about right in there. He was really rideable and listening and focused, and couldn't really have asked much more of him.
And how is it for you as well, coming back here as defending champion?
Oh, it's amazing. This place is unreal. Even just coming here without being defending champion, it's so special. So, just being here brings back all amazing memories. And it's a shame it's not London 52, but got a pretty good backup.
With Laura in 7th on a score of 25.2, William Fox Pitt and the mare Grafenach are in 8th on a score of 25.8.
Yeah, I'm chuffed to bits. I mean, she did nothing wrong. She was a good girl, wasn't she? So didn't know what to expect. I know she can do dressage. She moves well. She's got a real bit of oomph about her. But in there, I thought, but no, really, really, really pleased with her, for her.
Tim Price was one of the double horse riders here at Badminton Horse Trials, and he was the last competitor into the arena today on his Maryland 5-star winner Coupe de Coeur de Devin to hold provisional 9th ahead of cross country. Harry Mead completes the top 10 on his second ride this week, Teneriffe. Meanwhile, Tim Price on his first ride, Vitali, is now in equal 11th with Pippa Funnell and Binny Walk-On. I caught up with Pippa after her test. Pippa, well done. How was it in there today?
Very muddy, funnily enough. No, it's really, really wet conditions. I mean, poor horses, bless them. He tried hard. I think most of them are trying hard. It's, you do all this training on these nice, beautiful surfaces and slosh around. But yeah, he was a good boy.
And looking ahead to cross country, what are your thoughts?
I think, got a night to sleep on. I'm going to walk around again now. I've obviously got the first horse to ride. I think it's going to be. I think we're going to have to see how it goes and how it all unfolds. They've made some, I believe, some sensible sort of decisions already. I'm going to go out and walk again, looking at those new things that they've taken out. But I think it's going to be a case of, I don't know, I think we've got to ride with our heads and ride on the horse that we're sat on and not necessarily think about the end result. Think about the feel we're getting underneath us, and if they feel up to being pushed on or if they're struggling, the conditions will be wet, and so, we've got to just ride with our heads.
Best of luck on both of them tomorrow.
Thank you.
At the end of this first phase, just 4.8 penalties separate the top 10. There's also been some changes to Eric Winter's cross-country course, so head over to Horse and Hound to find out all the latest news about that ahead of tomorrow's competition.